Fulham fans are fuming at the fact that VAR was against them over the weekend, while Chelsea fans are rejoicing, because their team won and the decisions in that game favored them. There's a lot of discussions, conversations about Fulham versus Chelsea, why a just goal was not supposed to be cancelled from a decision that was taken by the ref, that a lot of people are complaining, including ex-footballers who are saying that that was indeed a wrong call. However, Chelsea fans are looking at it in a different way. They are excited that their team won. They are excited that the decision went in their favor. Fulham played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and it was going to be a difficult game for both sides. As Fulham were impressive in the first half, they took a lead through Jones. However, VAR has to call that decision back. Fans around the world are saying that that was not a good decision from the VAR. And my view on VAR is that for the past few years, since the day they started using it, I said that I'm against it. I'm against it because the glamour that comes with the game, the controversial decisions that we used to argue about a lot are now being taken away, So it's taking away the beauty of the game. And in as much as they want the technology, because the soccer has evolved to a point where they need it in soccer, we also need to bring back that reality, that glamour, that excitement that a lot of fans were looking forward to and we used to experience in soccer. But what can we say? Some days it goes in your favor, and some days it goes against you, and that is exactly what happened for the decision went against them, and the coach Marco Silva was against. He was so much furious about the decision, to a point he wanted to attack the referee, but with the help of the bodyguards, and also being cautioned by his own coaching staff, he decided to step back and complain about the decision later. So to a point where the likes of Jamie Carragher, Rio Ferdinand came out to call the VAR for the decision, and Joko, ex-Chelsea football player, who also said that he is not happy at the fact that the VAR gave that decision against Fulham. So they took away the beauty of that match. It was going to be a goal to Fulham. Even if Chelsea were going to come back and win, they were supposed to be fair. That is the sentiment shared by Joko. Anyway, Chelsea won that game 2-0. Goals scored by Enzo Fernandez and that guy João Pedro. Pedro can't stop scoring. 5 goals in 5 start for Chelsea now. So it seemed like Chelsea they got themselves the bargain from this guy who is scoring week in, week out. So it was indeed a good performance from the Chelsea side in that game. In another game in the English Premier League, Manchester United played against Burnley at Old Trafford, and like I always say, teams are now beginning to understand Manchester United, and they're not scared of playing Manchester United at Old Trafford. So whenever they go to Old Trafford, they know that they are guaranteed to get something. So Burnley fought so hard, but another decision also that was taken against Burnley from VAR, a penalty was given to Manchester United, which Hernandez converted that penalty to give Manchester United a win against Burnley. It was a difficult game. Bruno did not miss this one, and he put this one away, and Manchester United won 3-2. But there's something that we also need to take away from this game. Manchester United are a team now that smaller teams are not afraid of playing, especially at Old Trafford. When they are going to Old Trafford, they also want to get their own share of what points that Manchester United are sharing to other teams. They want to get that from Manchester United, and it was a very difficult and a tough match from Manchester United. They struggle, and you could see the relief from the players, especially Bruno Fernandes, after missing a penalty against a second division team that took them out of the Carabao Cup. Coming into this game, they needed to win in order for them to be able to boost their morale going into international break. So they got 3 points. United are now 4 points from 3 games, which is, it's not too bad, from a team that suffered last season and continue to suffer this season. So we'll see. After the international break, Manchester United will be hosting Manchester City. So will they pick from this win and get something positive against City, we have to wait and see. Because for me, I can tell you now that the performance against Burnley was not a convincing one. If not for VAR, Manchester United were not going to win that game. It was going to be a 2-2 draw against Burnley. And if a United side cannot be picking points against Burnley, you still have your Arsenal, your Chelsea, your Liverpool, your Man City, and other teams that are also, preparing to win the league this season. So it's going to be difficult for Manchester United. But we hope that as a big team that they will pick from this win, and moving forward they'll be able to get a positive result. Another team in the English Premier League that we're going to be talking about was a match between Wolverhampton versus Everton. It seems David Moyes has, there's this a magic that he's doing now with Everton. He revamped the Everton side and they are beginning to get positive results now. They're beginning to look like the Everton that we used to know. For the past 2 years now, they've struggled a bit, but Moyes, since he came back, he's beginning to build something solid. Now, the likes of Grealish, who came from Manchester City on loan, these guys are beginning to look like a team that actually want to compete and stay in the English Premier League. So they won away against Wolverhampton. It was indeed an impressive performance from Everton's side. Another match that took place on Saturday was a match between Leeds United against Newcastle United. It was just a goalless draw in that game. Newcastle United could not get 3 points against Leeds, who just came from the Championship side. So, getting a point is not bad, for two teams that are struggling in recent times. Newcastle losing their striker now to Liverpool. So, they are beginning to, struggle a bit. I don't know if it's because of Isaac going to Liverpool, but Newcastle United need to step up and do something. You can't be dropping points against the Leeds United side. Anyway, I'm just saying that Leeds United also want to stay in the English Premier League. So, getting a draw against Everton is actually a very impressive result for the Leeds United fans. All right, now on Saturday we had some few games that were played in the French League. The first match was Lille against Lorient. Lille traveled away to Lorient, and it was a humiliating performance from the home side as Lille scored 7 goals. Yeah, you heard me right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 goals against Lorient side, and for a home team to concede 7 goals in front of their home fans, it's just an embarrassing performance that was from Lorient side. So Lille ran riot of that one, and it was impressive for them to win 7-1 away against the Lorient side. In another match that took place, the reigning champions PSG traveled away to Toulouse, and against Toulouse, PSG scored 6 goals. This was expected. It was expected that they're going to win. They are the reigning champions. They're playing fantastic football. They have a good coach and a very solid team. So playing against a Toulouse side that, it's not too strong, one would have expected that. So I expected it. I believe a lot of people envisioned it, the result that PSG got. They won 6-3 against the Toulouse side away. Right, in Germany, Augsburg played against the Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich can't stop winning. Vincent Kompany is looking like he wants to retain the trophy that he won last season. He won the Bundesliga league title, his first title as a coach, and it's looking like he is going to do that because since the beginning of this season, Bayern Munich are flying high, winning 6, winning 3, just scoring a lot of goals and making sure that they're getting points home and away. And we are all looking forward to this Munich side because having the likes of Elise, Harry Kane, these guys are doing very well for Bayern Munich side. They went away to Augsburg and they won that game at 3-2. In Italy, Bologna played against Fabregas Como, and Bologna ran away with 3 points in that one. Como, Fabregas last season, they were impressive. They made sure they retained their position in the Italian league, and this season again, they continue to do very well. And losing against the Bologna 1-0 is not an embarrassing result for Fabregas' side, who is trying to build something solid for the Como side in Italy. Fabregas was approached by a lot of teams to coach, but however, he said that he doesn't want to go to any other team. He is going to stay in Italy with Como, who gave him his first coaching job, so he's still there, and we are looking forward to see more exciting football coming from the Como side. They lost 1-0 against Bologna away. In another match in Italy, it was a match between Parma and Ademola as the Atalanta. Ademola, who is having issues with Atalanta. Atalanta don't want to go. Bayern Munich table a bid for him, but Atalanta are saying no because the money is short of what they are demanding. Remember, Ademola wanted to go to Inter Milan, but Atalanta said no, they are not going to sell him to Inter Milan. The agreement they had was that he is going to go to a bigger club outside of the Italian league, not in Italian league. But Ademola wanted to move from Atalanta to Inter Milan, but Atalanta said no, they don't want. So since then, they've been just on and off. Right now, Ademola is not playing. He's outside. We don't know what is happening with him. So Bayern Munich wanted to take advantage of the situation, and they table 27 million euro. Atalanta are saying no, that is the short of their price tag for the Nigerian talisman. They want a 50 million euro, and Bayern Munich, I doubt if they're going to be able to meet that before the transfer window closes. So Ademola's case is just a sad story of a player who gave so much to Atalanta, winning them the European trophy, scoring 3 goals, in that game against the Bayer Leverkusen, and now African Footballer of the Year, now being sidelined by the team that he gave so much to. I just pray and hope that they'll be able to sort out things and he will come back to play again. All right, and another shocking result that took place in the Dutch league was a match between PSV, the reigning champion, and Telstar. PSV home against Telstar. I mean, on paper, like we always say, on paper, people expected them to, win against a Telstar side. However, Telstar said, no, you know what? We are going to be the giant killers, and we'll make sure that we get something positive. And that was exactly what they did. They won 2-0 against PSV Eindhoven. All right, moving straight in the Spanish league, Girona lost 2-0 against the Sevilla side, who traveled to Girona and maintained the impressive start to the season by making sure they get 3 points away against Girona's side. In another match that took place in the Spanish league is Real Madrid against Mallorca. Madrid got 3 points, making sure they maintained their impressive start to the season, winning 3 matches since the beginning of the season and getting 9 points in 3 matches. So are they going to be able to challenge Barcelona this season? Well, we have to wait and see what is going to happen in Spanish league, but the start of the season has been impressive one for Real Madrid, I must say. All right, after this short break, we'll be taking a look at some of the games that took place on Sunday. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at some of the games that took place on Sunday in the English Premier League. And on Sunday was just a surprise, for every one of us. Everybody, I'm sure everybody was surprised at the results that took place, the matches that took place on Sunday, and the result that came out of these matches. The first match that took place on Sunday was a match between Brighton against Manchester City. And Manchester City's a terrible start to the season continued, losing 2 matches in 3 games. They lost at home against Tottenham, and now they lost against Brighton side. And I always say these all the time, right, that if you're not getting positive result against smaller teams, which it is a guarantee that as a big team you're playing against a small team, chances of you getting 3 points are high. Number one, the smaller teams will respect you. They respect the fact that you're good, and you have an advantage because you have quality players. You have players who can score goals. If you have the likes of Haaland in your team, these are Mamouche is there now, So these are players that can give you something out of a difficult situation. And that was what Manchester City started doing at Brighton when Haaland scored, And when he scored that goal, in my mind, I thought that this is over for Brighton, When the former champions of EPL score, City are going to maintain their lead and, go ahead and win. However, Brighton say, you know what, we are also going to make sure that we put a dent to your title challenge this season. We are going to get our 3 points. We are at home. And at home, we are as good as Manchester City. And that is exactly what they displayed. They got 3 points against Manchester City. Man City now are 3 points from 3 games. 9 points, lost 6, and they have 3 points. This is just a terrible start to the season for Manchester City. Although it's still early, only 3 matches that have been played so far in the English Premier League. But getting 3 points now, accumulating these points now, we decide if you are indeed a title contender, and City failed to get positive result against Brighton. Coming back from international break, City are going to be playing against their neighbours, Manchester United. It's going to be a derby, and that derby is going to be where Manchester United are not getting positive results. So teams like that are dangerous to play against. They'll want to prove a point. So it's going to be, we have to wait and see. But I don't know what is happening with Pep at the moment. It seems he's not getting it right. The players are not giving him what he's looking for. So will this be a season when Pep will decide that, you know what, I've had enough success at Manchester City, and I think it's time for me to, seek another challenge somewhere else. We have to wait and see, but it looks like things are not going well with Pep at Manchester City, losing against Brighton, losing at home against Tottenham. It's just not good enough for a City that is known for winning week in, week out. All right, another shocker that took place on Sunday was a match between Nottingham Forest and West Ham United. West Ham started losing against Sunderland, who just came from relegation to Premier League in so many years, and losing 5-1 at home against Chelsea. Coming into this game, everyone would have expected Nottingham Forest to just get 3 points at home against a West Ham that is struggling in recent times. But it seems Graham Potter is back. According to what some of the fans are saying, that their coach is back. Getting 3 points against Nottingham Forest, not just getting 3 points, it was a humiliating performance from the Nottingham Forest side. Losing 3-0 against a West Ham side that is known for conceding a lot of goals and just losing. They lost 3-0 against Sunderland, 5-1 against Chelsea. They conceded 8 goals prior to this game. They going into this game, they became the Manchester City, at Nottingham Forest, as West Ham defeated Nottingham Forest 3-1. So I hope Nottingham Forest coach, owner, is not going to fire the manager, or is not going to fight them physically, because he's known for being this rugged guy who can just go at coaches and players whenever they're not doing very well. So I think it's going to be sort of a conversation, a serious conversation that he's going to be having with the coach and the players, because the result was just an embarrassing one. All right, another match that took place on a Sunday, and these are the two people that are being considered to be the title contenders. Everyone is saying that Arsenal or Liverpool are going to be the ones that will win the league this season. With the kind of players that they have, the kind of football that they play, and of course, Arteta has been coming close in so many years now, coming second on the table, and Liverpool winning it last season. So they are the two favorite teams to win the Premier League this season. Everyone is talking about it. And from the look of things, we don't think there's any other team that will come and break into that cycle, of Liverpool and Arsenal competing. So they went at each other at Anfield, where Liverpool at home and Arsenal going away. People were waiting to see what Arsenal can do. Are they really title contenders? Are they really the team that can give Liverpool a challenge? It was a very difficult game. It was a very entertaining game from both sides. However, Liverpool at home, performed magic once again. Making sure that they score against Arsenal in dire minutes, 82nd minute free kick, and they won that game, making sure that Liverpool maintained their 100% start to the season, and 9 points from 3 games. So the reigning champions won. They're showing signs of defending the title. However, a lot of people are complaining about Arsenal. It's just a deja vu for all the Arsenal fans. Now, another, what is the story that's going to be coming out? Are they going to go at Arteta again? Because Arteta has been given the permission to sign the players that they wanted to sign. Gyökeres came in, and the people were excited that this time around they're going to win it, because last season they lost because they did not have a finisher. But this season they have a finisher. So Arsenal have no complaints. They have nothing to complain about. They have what they're looking for. So if you are not winning the title this season, please stop talking about titles when others who are winning are talking about it. Because every season Arsenal fans will be at, okay, next season is going to be our season because we now have our missing piece. We are going to make sure that we win it this season. So going into this season, everyone's expectations are that Arsenal are going to be title contenders and are going to take it. Not just contending, they are going to be the ones that will take it away from Liverpool. It is, like I always say, it is too early, just 3 games into the season. But what happened now, determine what's going to be tomorrow. If you get 3 points now, the 3 points are going to be counted at the end of the season. So Arsenal losing against Liverpool at Anfield might be good, but bad at the same time, because Liverpool now go 3 points ahead of us. Arsenal are now in 3rd position. So Arsenal losing that game, we have to wait and see if indeed they are going to compete for the title. All right, the last match in the English Premier League that took place on Sunday was a game between Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. This is another, this is another game that also on Sunday was just filled with a lot of surprises in the English Premier League. The results that we're not expecting, the results, I don't think anyone envisioned any of these results that we got on Sunday. I don't think anyone said that West Ham would beat Nottingham Forest away. West Ham will wait to Nottingham Forest. I don't think anyone will say that. I doubt anyone will say that Brighton will beat Manchester City. I doubt if anyone will think. Liverpool, yes, they will think that Liverpool will get something. But having Aston Villa at home against Crystal Palace side, come on. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. But it happens. Yes, Crystal Palace, a fantastic goal from Maguire, who scored a goal that, as a defender, could this be a parting shot from this guy, a parting gift? Because he is leaving. This guy said he want to go to Liverpool. Liverpool want to sign him. And he's been, one thing I love so much about this guy, who's the captain of Crystal Palace, Maguire. One thing I love about this guy is the fact that he's a very cool-headed guy, Ever since there's rumor and there's been beats from a lot of teams about him leaving Liverpool, he has never shown any disrespect to Crystal Palace. He maintained his form, winning the Community Shield, and also going to every game. He's not playing like a guy that is upset about Crystal Palace trying to hold him down. So if I am the owner of Crystal Palace, I will gladly allow this guy to go, because he has shown a lot of discipline, dedication, and commitment to the team. Winning FA Cup and winning Community Shield as a captain, come on. He has done a lot for the club. So if he decided he want to leave, I will gladly bless him and say, may the good Lord be with you. Go and do exploit. You see, but we have to wait and see. It was a fantastic performance from the from the Crystal Palace Crystal Palace against Aston Villa, winning away 3-0 against Aston Villa. It was sure the coach will be over the moon over this result. It was a good performance from the Crystal Palace side. All right. Going into a Spanish league. In Spanish league, Barcelona played against Rayo Vallecano, and Barcelona traveled away through that team. But Barcelona fell short again. 3 games. It's not a bad result, getting a draw away. But when you drop 2 points, remember Barcelona won it last season. Madrid now want to win it. So playing against a team like Vallecano away, everybody would have expected Barcelona to get 3 points. However, they got a goal from Yamal. It's not a bad result. They stay in the 2nd position behind Real Madrid in the 3rd position rather. They are behind Real Madrid and Atletico Bilbao. Atletico Bilbao, who traveled to Betis and won away to Betis 2-1. Bilbao are in flying. They're in impressive form so far. Playing 3 matches, winning 3 matches, 9 points. The William brothers are doing it for Atletico Bilbao, and they are in it. in an impressive form in this season. All right, in Italy, another shocking result. Inter Milan played against Udinese, and it was a game that, like we always say on paper, people predict based on form, they predict based on the name of the team, and they don't understand that a lot of giant killers, Udinese proved to be one of those who can actually kill bigger teams, and that is what they did against Inter Milan. They went away to Inter Milan took the lead, Udinese came back and scored 2 goals in the first half rather, and they maintained that form, and they won that game 2 against Inter Milan. It was an impressive result for the away side, beating Inter Milan, who, like I say, on paper, people expected them to be Udinese, but Inter Milan were unable to do that, and they dropped 3 points in that game. Juventus traveled away to Genoa, and Juve managed to win 1-0 away against Genoa. So, the old ladies, are they back? The old lady are playing very well now. Are they looking like a team that want to compete for the title, want to take it away from Napoli? Because, Napoli is now a team that is reigning. The Antonio Conte's team is flying high, winning 1-0 against the Cagliari. So, here are some of the results that took place on Saturday, Sunday in some of the best leagues in Europe. All right. We're going into international break, and I will make sure that all the games that are going to be taking place, I'll bring them to you. You're not going to miss a thing with me. Trust me, you're not going to miss anything. If there's one thing that you should know by now, is the fact that I'm going to be making sure that I give you all the results that you miss. Anything that you miss, I'll make sure I bring it to you. Or do you want me to give you the result from Japanese league? Okay, anyway. All right. That is all from me. Until I come your way again, stay blessed.